when you're taking players to court and you're a huge company, one that has created big IPs like Gears of War, and you're suing two people for cheating in your game, you're taking them to court with a judge and jury. It's like, well, that makes me think less of you as a company. It seems counterintuitive to what you're trying to achieve.
Okay, I mean, that's fair.
That's just me. That's how I feel.
Because he cheats, people. See, this first story here, I'm quite sure this isn't the first time this has happened, but I think this is probably the biggest time that it has happened from a certain company. And that company I'm talking about is people that have been making games for a long time. They actually made one of Gertz's favorite games last year, and they have gone on to continue to and use a lot of certain engines and certain gameplay things. They seem to be very, very particular with them. And that company I'm talking about is Epic Games. Epic Games, they made one of your favorite games, Gertz, which is?
Which one did they do that I liked?
I'm pretty sure they're behind Doom.
No, Bethesda's behind Doom.
They used to make Doom. but that, that's right, because Cliffy B broke out. Yeah, that's right. That's my fault. I apologize. I'm thinking in the past. I'm old, y'all. I'm like 37. Like it's up there. But no, Epic Games. Of course, the kings of making anything that uses the Unreal Engine. So yeah, Gears of War. I'll go that route. There we go.
Yeah, and I do like at least the first two a whole lot.
And then watching Maria get the business in the third one. She's like, "Oh, what's wrong with her?" But yes, we got Epic Games, and of course they've been infamous for making very bloody, very gory games. But they decided to pull it back a little bit, and they decided to make a cute, fun game for the whole family. And that game, if you're wondering about it, that game is called Fortnite. Now, Fortnite, a lot of people, I don't know if you've heard about this. I understand if you haven't. Not many people it's not one of their biggest selling titles. But Fortnite is still doing pretty good, and it's a fun, friendly game. It's basically horde mode and building up a fort and protecting it. And you're saying, well, I kind of want to see it in action, or kind of get the gist of what the game is about. Here's a little trailer to brief you on what's going on there. So yes, everybody, Left 4 Dead Horde mode. So with that game right there, a lot of people have been having fun with it. They actually introduced a new mode. We talked about it, I believe, 2 weeks ago, where it's basically player unknown battleground, where you get to go out and again build more forts and protect them from other people. A big, huge arena for everybody to come in and try to kill each other and have fun, just like most video games right now. But with Fortnite, some certain people have been being a little mean. They haven't been fair. I know one of Gertz's big things when we play things like Overwatch or basically any multiplayer online video game is you hate the fucking cheaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, like most people do. Anytime you hack or even use a keyboard when you're playing on a console, you bitches. When people do certain things like that, keyboard things not as much, but cheaters. And obviously, with any big multiplayer online game, you're going to run into people who decide to do that and decide to cheat. And two certain young men by the names of Brandon Broom and Charles I don't know how to say this name. Vraspir. Vesper? Vesper?
I don't know. Can you pull it up on screen?
Yeah. Okay. Here, let me zoom into it so you can see it. Charles Varsper.
Oh yeah,
Varsper. That dude.
Yeah.
So these two guys, they decided to cheat in Fortnite, and again, be like most people who cheat online, just make the game miserable for everybody. And with that, they're like, all right, we're just having fun. It's all fun. We're getting better. We're having fun, but we won't get caught. This is just something small. And even if we do get caught, it'll be something simple like what Blizzard does, where it's just like, hey, it's a ban, or it's a week ban or a day ban, or we'll just ban you. If, in extreme cases, we'll ban you from the game or your BattleNet ID. So we'll just ban you from playing our game ever, or any other of our games that you so enjoy.
Yeah.
Well, Epic said, fuck that. Epic they're not playing around. And Epic says, you know what? If you're going to cheat in our game, this is what we're going to do to you. we are going to sue the fuck out of you.
Ooh.
Yes. Epic has turned around and found your boy Brandon and Charles. Brendan Broom and Charles V. That's what I'm going to call you. I don't know how to say your last name. They have literally turned around and said, we are suing the hell out of them. And as you can see right there, they are not fucking around. There are actual court dates, court documents stating, we don't want you playing our game. We don't want to catch you doing anything else with our game. If we catch you around us, we're just gonna shut you down. And they kind of basically listed everything that other companies do to just ban you. They're doing this to sue them.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and actually, when I saw this, I was like, maybe that's a little extreme. Again, to have court documents right here saying, this is what's going on, and this is why we think we should be able to sue you for cheating. The defendant is a cheater. The defendant is using cheat software slash hacks or cheats unlawfully to modify Fortnite software, and it gives them an unfair competitive advantage over other Fortnite players. And then it just goes on to list things like spoofing, and using proxies and doing things for streamers just to get people pissed off and other kinds of cheating. And when I saw this, like I said, I was like, maybe this is a little extreme. And then there was a voice in the back of my head that was like, fuck that, get them. And I think that voice in the back of my head was you, Gertz. Because I'm a compassionate guy. I'm a fair guy. Like, you know what? With Blizzard, they do the things where it's like, yo, maybe pull back, like, we're gonna ban you, like, we're not gonna let you talk in the chat for a while, we're not gonna let you play our game for a while, we'll just ban you from the game. But Epic took it to a whole nother level, and they said, we're taking you to court. Do you think this is extreme, or do you think this is justified?
It sounds kind of extreme to me, in all honesty. I'm with you in that part of the back, a little voice in the back of my head is like, yeah, fuck those dudes, because it's an online multiplayer game, and you're ruining the experience that other people also paid for. And I hate that logic that people sometimes use, like, well, I paid for this, so I should be able to do what I want with it. It's like, but you also are playing with people who also paid for it, and you're ruining the experience for them. That's not fair. But taking them to court over it, I don't know about that. That establishes a pretty what's the word I'm looking for? A pretty
aggressive?
A pretty aggressive precedent. Like if this actually gets traction in court, I find that a little disconcerting. I mean, there are players in actual sports who have been busted for cheating who weren't sued. So these are guys playing a video game. I absolutely think they should be banned from the game and shouldn't be allowed to ruin the experience at all for other people who also paid for the game. I'm fine with banning them from the game forever. But taking them to court, so this huge multi-million-dollar gaming company can get money out of them for cheating, and that's the other thing. Are they suing them for money or for damages?
It's just so that they're being sued. It's most likely going to be for damages, because how this can be construed as, it can be seen as copyright infringement. Okay. Because they actually had to go into the actual source code for the game and manipulate that to cheat in the game. So like, all right, you're accessing something that you shouldn't be accessing at all, and two, you went in and decided to manipulate stuff that you shouldn't be touching, period. Yeah. So I feel like it's going to be with copyright infringement, and most likely if it's copyright infringement, money's going to be involved, and they're going to be getting sued for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Man, yeah, like that's I'm not with that. I'm not with game companies suing players. You sound like a cheater. I sound like a cheater. I do think these cheaters should be banned. I think they should be banned for life from this game. But I'm not. A game company trying to sue players, cheaters or not, that establishes a precedent that I do not like. I do not like that at all. Well, let me ask you this: do you think this could just be what's the word I'm looking for? Could be a stunt. Like, not a stunt, but I feel like maybe setting an example. Yes. For like, all right, if we're tired of having to come in and I'm sure they have to spend, like, again, especially when you're a multinational, multi-million-dollar company with multiple games, you have to have a huge segment of your budget and your dev team going over to handle people who cheat and who glitch and who hack your game. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago when Blizzard was saying, wow, we wish we could put out more updates and fixes to, maybe some overpowered players, or maybe adding some more stages or some more costumes and everything in. But we don't have the time to do that because we're we're busy dealing with people who cheat and who grief and who are hacking our game to where we're spending a lot of money and a lot of effort on that as opposed to making a better game. Do you feel like this would be Epic trying to just take a stand and say, well, maybe if we start suing people and throw them in court for copyright infringement, they'll feel like this is more of a deterrent? Because, like, you know, keep in mind, this is it's kind of similar, but when everybody was big and popping on Napster and LimeWire and all the torrents and everything, and everybody was doing it, getting free music, free video games, free movies, and then of course we had our fun the DMCA Act, and then people started getting letters in the mail and emails saying, "Yo, you downloaded Lucy." I shit you not, I got one of those. I was mad. Tell, like, of all the fucking movies to get caught for, Lucy, like you downloaded a Lucy or another movie or a song or you know, a video game file. If you do this again, we are going to take action. We're going to take legal action. Or for some people, they get sued, and it's slowly taken down the amount of people who are downloading things, but you know, there's also other things like, you know, streaming and things like that, and Netflix and things like that have stopped people from downloading and stealing more. But do you think they're trying to go around like that, kind of go by those terms, to slow people down from cheating and hacking and just shit like that?
Yeah, it might be a fear tactic. It might be if you don't want to risk going to court, just don't cheat at our game. It very well could be that, but even so, I'm still not with that. The only way I would be with a company suing a player is if the player is getting in there like deep into the code and causing widespread damage to the online network and community or something like that. It would have to be like the equivalent of the Sony hacks.
Damn.
It would have to be pretty big. Like something like this, it's really shitty and absolutely should be punished. But yeah, taking them to court over it, I'm not quite with that. That's an extreme measure to me. And and even that excuse of like, it uses a lot of resources to find these people. It's like, well, once you find them, just ban them, ban them for life. Like, I think it's a pretty simple fix. I guess like the work comes in making sure these complaints are warranted and all that. And I can see that being time consuming, but also at the same time, I feel like that's kind of an excuse, particularly in Blizzard's case, especially because they didn't even have a report system in place on consoles for over a year, which is bullshit.
That's okay. That's fair. And to bring up exactly what I was talking about with the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, the DMCA. That's what Epic is using the site to say, all right.
Oh, copyright.
Yeah, they're saying it's copyright infringement, and that, again, they haven't said exactly what they're going for to get reparations for this, like money, or if it's going to be time served in jail. That'd be hilarious if somebody got thrown into jail for cheating at Fortnite.
Yeah, man. Like,
what you in for? Man, I stabbed a clown. What you in for? Yo, man, I hit somebody with my car. What you in for? I was cheating at Fortnite. Yo, don't fuck with him. He's a sick guy, man.
Monster.
He's a scumbag human being. But yeah, that's what Epic is using to say why they're suing this person, is because you violated our Copyright Act. You've caused irreversible damage to our game, and you've gained an unfair advantage over other competitors in our game. So it's damaging their money, if that's the way you want to put it. Because you're saying, like, you know, if they went in and did some source code stuff, and you know, they're like the Sony hacks, but they're saying, well, you're cheating so much, it's got to the point where people don't want to play our game. Okay. And that's why it's costing us money, and costing us not only costing us money by people not buying the game, but we have to send people out to fix this shit, and you're a big problem with that. So that's why they're going about this big court lawsuit thing. Okay,
yeah. Are they saying that the damage is irreversible?
Yeah, like
I'll
look at the article right here. In that second paragraph from the bottom, Fortnite software is being intentionally modified, says Epic, to gain an unfair competitive advantage over other Fortnite players in a deliberate attempt to destroy the integrity and otherwise wreak havoc in Fortnite. As a result of the defendant's Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. Still coughing up that shit from last week. The defendant's copyright infringement. Epic has suffered and will continue to suffer substantial and irreparable damage to its business reputation and goodwill. So that's what's cited. And damn, that's a funky ass look to be reading a court document.
That's a tall ass claim. Yeah, there's definitely damage done, but irreplaceable. No. I mean, I don't think was someone saying like I can't imagine there are a bunch of people viewing Epic in a negative light because of these two cheaters.
But you just did it with Blizzard. You said they didn't have a...
No, I viewed Blizzard in a negative light because of Blizzard's decision to not have a report system in place for over a year.
For cheaters.
They decided or took way too long to implement that, and now they're using it as a scapegoat to just piggyback the not creating new content. That's different than this, I think. Like if Blizzard had a report system in place from the get-go, then I'd understand their concerns. But it's like, no, you didn't treat this as a priority at all, and now you're using it as an excuse. These guys, at least with Epic, I don't know. Like it almost feels contradictory to me because I didn't view them in a negative light when I first heard that there were cheaters in their game and they were responding to them. It's like, good, a company should do that. But when you're taking players to court and you're a huge company, one that has created big IPs like Gears of War, and you're suing two people for cheating in your game, you're taking them to court with a judge and jury. It's like, well, that makes me think less of you as a company. It seems counterintuitive to what you're trying to achieve.
Okay, I mean that's fair.
Just me. That's how
because he cheats, people. See, as someone that doesn't cheat, I think you know what? Get them. Put hands on them, Epic. They deserve it.
They deserve to be banned. Absolutely.
So they don't be deserved. No, I'll let you talk. You talk. It's enough from that side. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm cool with it. Okay. Here's the thing. From somebody that's had to deal with. I know you don't play on PC. From someone that's actually dealt with a lot of shit on PC, especially when it comes to cheaters, and PC usually is the one that gets least support when it comes to things being hacked and cheated because it's one it's so easy to do. With consoles, you have to actually go into their whole thing of getting their code, which is a bitch to do. But when it comes to PC, the games are kind of made to be hacked because they had to be made per graphics card, per processor, per system you're playing it on. So PC games are usually easier to hack, and those are usually the ones that get hacked the most. From somebody that plays on PC from time to time, yes, I completely agree with this. I don't have a problem with this at all. Okay. Epic. I'm cool with you suing these guys. Because it's a big problem, especially like again, if you play on consoles, you don't deal with a lot. But if you play on PCs, you deal with people cheating all the time. You deal with aim bots all the time. You deal with people glitching through walls, or you deal with people. Sometimes they'll just slow your connection, like they'll grief you. Or you, God forbid, you get a DDoS attack. So things like that, yeah, I'm fed up with it. And if Epic wants to go this extreme route, I don't think it should be done all the time. Let me paraphrase this shit. I don't think this should be done all the time. Like when somebody cheats, like if somebody's glitching through a wall, all right, you can ban them for like a week or something. But like if they're going in and like these people were aimbotting and doing everything that like cheaters do. Yeah, I think these are the type of people that should get the axe when it comes to playing your game, and they're going to be made an example of when it comes to this. And the fact that that Epic is citing the DMCA, they're probably going to win because that's such a like a ubiquitous law. You're like, well, he looked at our site and sneezed on the screen. The DMCA, like I'm suing. You gave us a virus, like things like that. So yeah, I think Epic most likely once this goes to trial, they're going to win. Like even if it's only a small victory, even if these guys plead out, Epic still wins. Yeah. So yeah, I'm cool with it. I know Gertz is not because he's a cheater. So yeah, it's just fine. Don't look at me like that. Don't. That's so spooky. But yeah, good luck, Epic, in suing these scumbags. I'm tired of playing cheaters on PC and consoles, but definitely PC. Yeah. So good luck to you guys, Epic and Fortnite. They have this big thing like, oh, it's damaging our sales and our games. ain't nobody playing that game like what you want it to be.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like I don't think a lot of people are playing Fortnite because they just don't want to play it.
Yeah, and it's no, I understand it's a fun game, and I understand there are some people out there that are having fun with it. I'm not hating on you for that.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Yeah, Gertz is. I'm not.
No, I'm not. I haven't even touched it.
He's a scumbag, but I'm not. But yeah, I know they're trying to be PlayerUnknown Battleground, and I want to say that has like 3 million some odd people playing at one time at its peak. And I think on the peak of Fortnite is maybe like 520,000. So yeah, y'all ain't that dope. Don't kid yourself, Epic. You make good games, but your games ain't like, I lost my shit.